Think about the last important conversation you had, a negotiation, a conflict, a moment where you needed to be persuasive. How much of the time were you talking? If you're like most people, you probably felt the pressure to fill the space, to explain, to justify, to convince. But what if I told you that every word you speak, without conscious intent, is a piece of power you surrender? Welcome to the art of silent control. This isn't about being mute. It's about strategic communication. Dark psychology, at its core, is the study of how human behavior can be predicted and influenced, often by bypassing conscious resistance. And the most adept practitioners know that language is a decoy. The real work happens in the gaps, the glances, the pressure of a withheld response. Today, we're breaking down 3 tactics that move you from participant to controller. Tactic number 1, the illusion of disclosure. We are socially programmed to reciprocate. Someone shares a secret, we feel compelled to share one in return. This is the trap. The manipulator will often offer a seemingly vulnerable piece of information, a minor struggle, a slightly embarrassing story. This is bait disclosure. It's designed to make you feel safe, to trigger your empathy, and to unlock your vault. Your instinct is to match their openness. But in doing so, you give them real ammunition, your true fears, desires, and insecurities. The counter tactic? The mirror and misdirect. When presented with bait, you simply mirror the emotional tone without giving substance. A thoughtful nod. A phrase like, "It's interesting you feel that pressure too." Then you immediately misdirect with a calibrated question. What did you find was the hardest part to overcome? You flip the dynamic. Now they are disclosing around their own bait, often revealing their true strategy. You listen, you collect, and you disclose nothing. You've just turned their weapon into your intelligence. Tactic 2, the power of the pause. Silence is psychological pressure. In nature, silence often signals danger. In conversation, we rush to eliminate it. A manipulator asks a probing question. You answer, then quickly add, "Does that make sense?" Or, "You know what I mean?" You're seeking validation, releasing the pressure. Stop. When asked a challenging question, pause for 3, 4, 5 seconds. Maintain relaxed eye contact, or the vibe of it for our faceless format. This does 2 things. First, it frames your eventual response as considered and powerful, not reactive. Second, and more crucially, it unsettles the other person. They will often jump in to qualify their own question, revealing why they asked it, what they're really looking for. You haven't said a word, and you've already gained the upper hand. The silence becomes a mirror, reflecting their anxiety back at them. Tactic 3, controlling the frame. Every conversation exists within a frame, the underlying assumption about what's happening. Is this a friendly chat, a competition, a rescue mission? Most people unconsciously accept the frame given to them. The controller sets the frame. This is done through assumptive language. Instead of asking, "Can we discuss the budget?" which frames it as a request for permission, you state, "As we finalize the budget, I want to ensure my team's needs are aligned." You've assumed the conclusion that the budget will be finalized. Your opponent is now forced to argue within your frame. They have to say, "Well, about that alignment," rather than, "We're not finalizing anything." You are no longer discussing if something will happen, but how. This is a subtle but monumental shift in power. Here is the non-negotiable boundary. These tools are like surgical instruments. In the hands of a skilled professional, they can heal. In the hands of a malicious actor, they can cause profound damage. Using these to exploit, harm, or strip someone of their autonomy is not power. It's a profound weakness. It's the admission that you cannot connect, build, or earn loyalty authentically. So why learn them? For the same reason you learn how a lock is picked, to protect your own doors. Now, you can recognize when someone is using bait disclosure on you. You feel the pressure of a strategic pause and choose not to squirm. You hear assumptive language and can consciously reject the frame. This knowledge is your armor. Your challenge this week is not to manipulate. It is to observe. Go into your conversations listening not just for words, but for structure. Who is disclosing more? Who is uncomfortable with silence? What is the assumed frame? Just observe. This awareness alone will change your dynamic. True power isn't about controlling others. It's about mastering your own impulses, the urge to chatter, to please, to fill the void. When you stop talking, you start seeing. And when you start seeing, you cannot be controlled. Remember this. Knowledge is defense. Use it wisely.